Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. Welcome back to a Division 2 video. And a few days ago we had a dev stream just talking about all types of stuff a little bit more detailed. And we got a bunch of interesting information in that. But also there has been a big conversation after the dev stream, as a lot of people think that Striker will be nerfed. Had a lot of questions in stream, I see a lot of discussions online, so let's cover the most important points of the dev stream and talk about the quote-unquote Striker nerf, because I feel like a lot of people are misunderstanding what was said on the dev stream. And if this video helps you out in any way or form, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well, and let's dive right in. The dev stream started and it had Leo, Yannick, and a new face that we haven't seen before, Steve. He talked a little bit about what he does within the game, and a part of his job is making sure that everyone received all the rewards. Like for example, on the 11th of August, we see the new Incursion coming. If you beat that within 24 hours, there is a special reward connected to it, same as if you beat it within 7 days. Steve is one of the developers that will check the accounts and make sure that you will get that reward. Talking about that Incursion reward, all of these rewards will be sent to everyone after the 7th day. So if you complete the Incursion within 24 hours, you will get that reward a week later. He also talked about the audio bug, that our audio is disappearing from our weapons, LMGs, rifles, you name it. A lot of audio for the weapons is disappearing in the last couple of updates, and we should see a fix around the 11th of August with the 2.3 update. In the foreseeable future, we will see the patch notes coming for that, and we will dive in what will be changed as we get a big patch with the launch of the new Incursion. Steve also touched quickly on the bans, how it works, what they're doing, and that they banned over 700% more players in Season 2 than Season 1 of Year 8. There are a bunch of updates coming for the anti-cheat. He covered a few things, but of course they can't go in full detail, as then all of the cheat providers of course also know what they fixed, so they have a counter. But Steve mentioned it should now be easier to at least detect third-party software if somebody uses that on their platform. Hopefully that will not get the people away that use macros. There are of course a bunch of harmful macros, but I know a lot of people as well that just use a macro to open up a cache faster. Hopefully the macros will not be adjusted, as that officially is also a third-party software. Steve also mentioned that there are sanctions and there are bans. Whenever your account has never had any suspicious activity, if you get caught cheating and or exploiting, then you will get sanctioned, and that will usually mean a week or 2 weeks of a suspension of the game. If you then get caught again, then you will get banned. And this is why some of y'all still sometimes see the same name pop up again. So it could be the last time that you encountered that person, he got sanctioned and now he's back. If that player is then still not abiding by the rules, of course, then report him in-game. The in-game report is very useful information, so whenever you fight a cheater, always report him in game, as then the devs can read out everything from their session. Yes, the screenshot, the videos will help out as well, but if they have an in-game report, and they will see those, they can investigate within the session, making sure that they can catch the right person. And now that we're already on the topic of PvP, there is another PvP rebalance coming in, but now for the attributes of the brand sets and the gear sets. Again, we'll have to wait on the patch notes to completely see what they gonna change, but this is what Yannick touched on within the stream for a little bit. Same as we're getting, yes, finally a PvP shooting range that will give us a way to test our PvP builds, what is a huge W. They're also looking to add more Dark Zone rewards or Dark Zone rewards to the Dark Zone for PvP and for PvE. And yes, that means the PvE DZ is here to stay. Every single season we will see something like toxicity being added to the PvE DZ. It will not be exactly toxicity, but that same system in mind. And Yannick dropped the working name Blackout for the new toxicity in the DZ of Season 3. And now for the last big thing before we talk about the quote-unquote striker nerf. Yes, the recalibration / optimization is coming to Prototype in Season 3. We don't know exactly how it's gonna work. Yannick also told us it's not gonna be the same as we're used to right now. So we probably won't see a library where we can buff our stats from or roll our stats in. But it's great news that next season, that is around the corner, we will see our prototype recalibration / optimization. And I'm very curious what the devs have in store for us for that. So now, let's talk about the quote-unquote striker nerf, because I had a lot of people coming into my comments on YouTube, coming into my streams and screaming, "Striker's gonna get nerfed! Striker's gonna get nerfed!" They talked about it in stream, even on the Reddits, on the social medias, everywhere I saw a big misconception about this. So the devs came with a little clarification on Reddit as well. Hello agents, we like to clarify something that might be misunderstood from our stream. We don't have plans to nerf Striker battle gear soon. Here you can find the link to the moment of our recent stream that we discussed the topic, and we will look at this a little bit later, but let's read through the rest of the message. What we said during the stream is that we understand that this gear set is an outlier because of both its power and its simplicity. A significant part of our community has Striker as their main build, and we don't have plans to touch this in the near future for PvE. Yannick even mentioned it's about 27% of the player base. This section had us covering the question from chat, and we didn't plan to discuss a Striker nerf. We used the opportunity to talk about the meta, and Yannick briefly mentioned options we have for that, including buffing other sets. We will make sure to reinforce this message during the next stream to avoid misunderstandings. So again, we will not see a Striker nerf coming for PvE. Yannick, yes, talked about it because there was a question from chat and they were doing a Q&A and he gave us just a little bit more information. So let's listen to Yannick real quick in what he had to say.
I saw a question actually, someone asking Striker nerf when, and I think it's honestly it's an interesting discussion because I mean obviously Striker is an outlier. I was actually looking at data today, and I think it's something like 25 or 27% of the player base is using Striker. Mm-hmm. So obviously that's yeah.
I just got mine. I've been 1 year without using Striker. I use for the storm event.
And honestly, you know, the set like should be nerfed. But on the other hand, it's like, I mean, then that means we have 27% of our players that are going to be pretty upset about it. And I'm sure, you know, smart people will tell us, well, then buff everything else. And yes, we can do that. But we've tried already. And, you know, no matter how much we buff, it's not just a matter of power. It's a matter of how simple it is. Also, Striker is just very much like, you know, do what the game tells you to do. Shoot on things and you get more powerful. Yeah. You don't have to do anything more than that. So it's just the mix of the power and simplicity that makes it so efficient. Yeah, we've not, until now, we've not, you know, pulled the trigger on nerfing Striker because I think there's value in having a kind of like a simple set that is the no-brainer that you want to go for. I think we need to do better at providing better alternatives, and that doesn't mean necessarily buffing everything, but maybe really looking at different playstyles and how do we make also those no-brainer options for different playstyles. So it's really a tricky one, and I hope we can find a better solution rather than just nerfing Striker. But it is a problem, honestly. I can tell you there are people on the team that would love nothing more than just nerfing it.
So now that we heard this, it's pretty clear, or at least for me, it's pretty clear that they're not nerfing Striker. The 3 quotes I kinda wanna get from this are, we have not pulled the trigger on nerfing Striker because I think there's value in a simple set. To then of course follow up with looking for another no-brainer option for different playstyles. Instead of just buffing things, they wanna look into if they can create a better set for rifles, LMGs, ARs, you name it. Instead of looking into buffs, looking into nerfs, looking into other no-brainer options like Striker for different playstyles. And for the 3rd quote, I hope we can find a better solution than nerfing Striker. And I think these 3 quotes will definitely tell you that the Striker nerf isn't coming. Plus, of course, the devs' response on Reddit that we will not see a Striker PvE nerf. So hopefully everything is clear now. We will not see a Striker nerf. And now of course I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your opinion about the Striker topic. But also don't forget, we're getting that Recal station. We're getting a PvP shooting range. The PvE DZ is here to stay. There are more Dark Zone rewards coming. And of course the 2nd overhaul of PvP gear as of the attributes on our gear sets and or brand sets. Hit me up in the comments down below. I would love to hear your opinion. But that's pretty much it for me. Thank you very much for sticking until the end. Like the video if you liked the video or helped you out in any way or form. If you're new here and or you want to be updated about the Division 2, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And I will see you in the next one. Pure Prime out.